Let's go. I think we're
Yay! I love it. I love the Friday vibe.
alive. Right, exactly. You said winding down, it's called now.
Yes, actually, somebody from my network suggested the names. Like Anna, Friday is so hard. It's like people don't wanna interact for work stuff. I'm like, well, our goal is not for people to actually think about work, winding down, right? Winding down. So I suggest that we use this as our show name. What do you think, Vlada? Wind
No,
down. Friday
I
wind
like
down.
it. Wind down. I like it. I think that's great. And I was so much looking forward to it. I think now it's becoming a habit. It's funny how quickly things catch up. And it's like I can't
Yeah.
finish my week without chatting with you now.
Well, yeah, exactly. But also, it's been only 3 weeks, so this is a good. This can be a great, I don't know, eye opener for some people who thinks that acquiring new habits take a long time, and especially people who are diving into content creation. In just 3 weeks, it's like 3 times, and you like, okay, I'm craving this. I'm craving this live, so, live show.
Exactly. Yeah, so I like mine down, and we can use some of our new AI tricks to maybe come up with a logo
Oh my
for
God,
us.
this sounds like a real venture now, Vlado.
I know, I know. We started off as just a weekly catch up that we do
Yeah,
anyway, and we just wanted to share it with folks. And I did start hearing a lot of great reviews, and some folks were thanking
I
me
love this.
actually for sharing some of our unfiltered stories, and just what's happening in the week, and what's top of mind. And I think we have a really cool topic today.
Yeah, but also tell everyone that we're just starting out, with all the unfiltered story. I received a really great feedback after our previous show. A few people even reached out to me in DMs and asked me for a recording because, like, I feel like you shared. I mean, we both shared, but you like a lot of tools that you are personally using. You shared a lot of them. So I'm encouraging everyone to watch the recording if you guys missed the AI thing. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I love this topic that we have today. I'm so overworked this week, so I really need to talk about this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's learn from each other, and there is never a perfect answer, but I think we're all in our different ways found some solutions that make life
Yeah.
cooler and more enjoyable. And so I think it's
How
great
was
to.
how was your how was your week, by the way?
Week was great, and I think that we just talked about AI last time, and then this week was a big developer conference, and I was just before getting here, I was catching up on the new announcement and developer summit that OpenAI held, and
Tell me what happened. I know something was crazy. I read some like crazy worrying news briefly because I've been so busy this week with my content. I'm recording a new course that is called Power Skills, and actually, I have included 2 modules on AI to actually teach people how to leverage AI prompting because that's the power skill of the future. I mean, we haven't learned how to communicate with each other, but now we have to learn how to communicate with machines, So I have a lot of work to do here, but yeah, so tell me what happened. What
Well, I think it's quite early days, but I do think that a lot of folks that were building on top of AI will have to rethink some of the acquisition methods and just business models, because, or fundamentally the business,
a
because
lot of work for you, Vlada, as a business consultant.
yeah. But I think with GPTs, which is the new way for anyone without any code knowledge to launch their own GPT, it's already live, and I started playing with it, and it's
What did you
mind
build? What can we build for our Friday wind down?
blowing. I know. Yeah, I think we can think about it. It's maybe some questions that what you want to ask, and so maybe some questions about Friday life, Friday wind down. And
Yeah.
I've seen some actually venture firms starting to create little GPT-4 to learn more about them. and sharing those publicly. It's actually really fun and very easy to use. And I'm sure that the ones that will become a real business will be something that OpenAI will want to pick up and own, which is interesting. So it's a kind of a playground and a very strategic move. So that's exciting. And then I think on the
Any
personal.
wins this week? Actually, I kind of like was thinking about, how I want to start off today. So I'm like, let's talk about our wins this week. Any wins, any asks?
Yeah, well, that's great. I think my win this week is, posting and creating content is something
I
really
know.
new.
Shout out to you. Okay, guys, if you don't know, Vlada has a professional Instagram page, and she's been consistent with posting on LinkedIn and creating video content. How is it coming? I mean, I'm as a content creator, I'm really proud of you because, to be honest, this week I was invited as a guest speaker to for one of the ESL teacher community, but these are like they are not like teachers, they are like, okay, so most people there, they have their English schools or whatever, German, I don't know, schools, so like language schools. So they are entrepreneurs, they are educators and entrepreneurs, edupreneurs, right? And I was invited to talk about business, and we talked about content, and they were like, oh, Anna, how are you, like, how many people you have like working for you creating content? I'm like, me, myself, and I. And then like I remembered you, and I'm like, well, that's the mindset that people need to get. uh Instead of asking questions, how many people you have to do this for you, first embrace the skill yourself and then delegate it. So like all these questions that I get from like about this, I was like, oh, mean, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. You'll never be able to grow your audience if you don't invest your energy. Or like scheduled posting, come on, scheduled posting, yes, but then like something can go wrong, you need to modify it, you're going to spend more time. So I'm really proud of you for not looking for the easy, because there is no, like, as an entrepreneur, right, there's no easy way. I mean, I wish there was, but content, it's like, it's more like about personal thing. So what you're doing is great.
Thank you. And I think big part of it, I think what held me back was this idea of I already work so much. Now also I'll post content when do I live life, right? And I think that figuring out how to make it work for your schedule, for your priorities is a big part of it. And I don't think there is one answer. I think now because you've been creating content for so long, you just see something, you snap it, it's
Yeah.
real time. I'm definitely not there. So I think for me, scheduled content is big, and
But
just
look, come on, it's been only what, 3 weeks.
yeah, exactly. So every skill takes time, right? They say, well, 1,000 hour rule or 10,000 hour rule.
I don't even want to know.
So many thousands of
I don't
hours.
even know how many thousand hours we have to spend, yeah, like speaking of these thousands of hours, it's how do we, yeah, like how do you, uh so how, like you said, you were concerned that you're gonna spend more time. So what about now? Like, do you spend more time? You don't have the balance now. When do you live, Vlada? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like you always wake up super early. I thought I wake up early, but like you wake up earlier. But
Yeah, I think big part for me is, so if we talk about, maybe we can kind of jump into the topic of I think one of the big things for me has been not working on the weekend, or like
oh my god,
working
that's a game changer.
not working in traditional sense, because I just know that I can be extremely productive during the week, and accomplish tremendous amounts of things if I give myself a break. And if I skip a break, then my productivity just goes down. And at the end of the day, I'm just not happy, exhausted, and still accomplish the same number of things in a week time frame. And so I think one of the because for now I'm really curious about this, right? At ClassTag, I had a marketing team, and that led our social media, and only in the early days when I was doing everything from customer support to lives to whatever else to build that early
Now
audience.
you got back
Oh,
to
but
to square one.
yeah, I'm adopting a beginner mindset, so I'm starting from the beginning, which is humbling and fun and keeps you
But
growing.
you know what? I actually had you. I posted this article the other day about CEO ego on my LinkedIn newsletter, and I was thinking about also you. You are so successful. You have accomplished. You exited your company. You build it from scratch, and you raised capital. You have like so many things that you can share. But at the same time, like you said, I adopted to a beginner mindset because I want to learn a new skill. That's like really humble, like you said, and that's something super successful that's like successful people do. And I'm the same. Like I can do, like, I mean, although I mean I have the team of who can edit something, but I can do the quick edit myself if it's necessary. I can yeah, so I think this is also like really important for when you are a founder, when you are a CEO, because I feel like a lot of people, as soon as they get this taste of success, they kind of like think that, okay, I made it, right?
Yeah, big office, big team, and
Yeah, big office. Look at my office. I love this office. Actually, so speaking of work-life balance, when I announced our event on my LinkedIn, I said that I don't believe in work-life balance, and this is kind of something that you just said. You don't work on weekends, or like you can choose. I can say that my very first job before I started my business was for a company that worked on Sundays, and I worked for them for a year, and I was so fed up with the fact that I couldn't go out on
Saturday.
Saturday, and I was 19 years old. Like, obviously I wanted to go out, and but like what our days off were Friday and a Saturday, and Friday doesn't end up being a day off after all, because like everyone is working, so you don't feel the vibe. So I was so fed up. So when I started my own business, I'm like, I'm gonna make it. And it was really difficult to run a language school and not to work on the weekends, because everyone who wants to upgrade
Mhm.
with their language, they wanna do it when they don't work, which is the weekend. I'm like, I'm gonna build it, and I'm gonna be off on the weekends, So I've managed to do so. Well, actually, the decision to pivot to the tech sector was the right decision, because tech companies don't work on the weekend. So I ended up pivoting from like teaching English to everyone to English for IT. And yeah, so weekends, it's a game changer. But also the other reason why I say that I don't believe in work life balance is because I only believe in life where work is part of it, right? And if you start thinking about it as like, okay, I need to balance work and life, then it's actually you automatically build up more work, I think, because you see it as equal to life, whereas you should see it as one of the components. Because and now my a coach in me speaking, if we think about this like 8 sectors, like a wheel of life, and there are like 8 sectors, like friendship, love, work, blah blah blah. Work is one of the 8, and the work life balance is just only 2, like equal. So I don't know. And I feel like that's the mindset people have to acquire. And as a for entrepreneur, I can say that sometimes I'm a creative. I'm more on the creative part of entrepreneur. So sometimes I am creative on Saturday or Sunday, and I can do it. But then I know I can take some time off during the week, and just relax. So I don't know. That's my take on work life balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think of it as integrated life, right? That has all of these different components. And I think looking for ways to combine things. So, for example, if I'm going on a work trip somewhere, I always think, oh, can I take my daughter with me? Does she have a break at school? Or maybe if I drop her off at the camp, then I can go and have my work meetings or do some networking or things like that. And really thinking about different opportunities to combine things in a way that can be both a life and work together. I also think that I been lucky or made a deliberate choice to work with folks that I really love, and so I think for me, my team, and a lot of folks became friends or were friends, and then we started working together or doing lives together.
The egg
I
or the
think
chicken? What was first, the egg or the chicken?
yeah, exactly. So I think that's also a big part of who you surround yourself with. And it can be life and work, and you don't have to, just hang out at work with folks you don't like, and then go enjoy yourself with other people, because we spend so much time at work, I think, or working. It is has to do with who you really, it's, I think for me it's first who and then what, who am I working with, and then what exactly I'm doing, because at the end of the day that has a direct impact on your satisfaction ultimately.
Mhm.
We can only create something great when we are passionate, when we have this energy and fire to produce and to give out to others. And I think that's why it really matters about sort of that integration of these various components. So I'm a big believer in that integration. But if we think about sort of kind of structurally, do you have rules about attacking most important tasks first, or do you do a to-do list? How do you think about sort of planning your week? Is it something you do on Sunday? So kind of what is
Yeah.
your process, unless it's complete madness, which is totally an answer, could be an answer.
Yeah, I mean, that is part of the answer. It's not complete madness, but I can tell you, like I said, because I am creative, so sometimes this chaotic, scene set helps me to whatever create. So I don't mind. I can keep a lot of things in my head without a list, but of course, I live by the calendar. That's why I never plan anything. I mean, I try not to have anything planned at least one day a week, like either Saturday or Sunday. I have zero appointments, like no nails, no hairdresser, nothing, like not even personal appointments. Like I don't want to open up my phone. Like I don't want to pull up my calendar and look at my calendar. So I want to like have this like one decompress calendar decompress day or something, But as for the task, yeah, I really like the saying success on Monday starts on Sunday. And I use this phrase a lot. And it's really a great idea when you can just like even like 30 minutes or even 10 minutes, I don't know, on Sunday you can just you don't even have to create a list of things to do, but you can just sit for 10 minutes in peace and quiet, and without your phone or computer, and just prepare mentally for the week. It doesn't have to be always a checklist of things to do. But yeah, I've never used, I mean, I tried using all these like popular apps for checklists and things. I don't think they really work for me. I know they really work for some people, but maybe I'm too disorganized. Let's put it this way.
I don't know what
Yeah, yeah, I do that too. I do that too. Okay, that's the age dish. That's an age thing. I do that too. Yeah, that's I do. Yeah, I have the paper things too. But yeah, I feel like another thing that I want, like personally, I want to get better at is, like getting the difficult tasks done first thing in the morning, or like first thing when you start your day or your week. I'm struggling with this because I am a lot driven by my emotions. Like if in the moment, if like, okay, I want to, oh my God, I really want to record this video. Like, I want to do it. And I'm like, oh my God, you had these like emails, important emails. So I don't know, maybe you can, what about you? How do you do that?
Yeah.
I wanna learn from you. I feel like you're more organized, definitely.
Yeah, I think it sounds like it. It sounds like it. Well, one of the reasons why I love waking up early is I think those are the hours that I'm sort of ahead of everyone else, and both the team and family. And so those are the hours when I have some things I've been putting for later time, or some things that require more concentration, more work. I know that there is this hour or hour and a half that I can actually get that done, because getting as a CEO the calendar. is
It's busy
really
quickly.
booked up completely. We do have a lot of folks in various time zones, so we tend to have a lot of meetings in the mornings in the first half of the
Absolutely.
day, and so typically those other things that are more independent work will either need to get done very early in the morning or then later in the afternoon. So
Like
that's
happy hours in the afternoon, right? Well, you're like,
yes,
I better do this at 5 a.m. than
exactly.
5 p.m.
I am, yeah, I think you have to know your rhythm and your energy. I think it's more about managing actually your energy than your time. Because I know that in the morning, I have a ton of energy. Like I'm a morning person. So I can, whatever requires some creative thinking or deep thinking, that's, good luck getting me to think really deeply at like 9 p.m. I'm dead. I can go
Yeah.
out, but I can't really think straight at that time. But I can do that at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. even much easier. So I think just knowing your energy and your rhythm, I think is really important.
What about your workouts? Like when do you work out? In the morning or in the evening? Because for me, evening workouts, like I can't sleep. I don't know, maybe again that's an age issue, but if I work out late, I it's just like I have so like I don't know, it's just so much energy or something that I won't be able to go to bed before midnight, which I usually like to do. So I have to go in the morning because then like during the day you kind of like it's harder to get out there. So what like when do you do your workouts?
Yeah, always in the morning again, because I think I just tend to have very intense days. And I think especially I've been working from home for a really long time, and so there are no excuses like a little chat somewhere on the side or a coffee break or this or that. I actually, when I start the day, I give it all for many for a few hours until it's harder to do harder to do sports or other things. And so I tend to, and I think the other thing is starting your day right is really important. And I think for me, sports is one of those key things to starting your day right. And I wish I would say that I work out every day. I think realistically, 3 to 4 days a week, a work week.
Wow, that's really good. I mean, come on, don't feel guilty for saying that. Like 3 days a
I
week.
try.
I
I
mean,
try to
hello.
keep five, but it doesn't. The strike doesn't always happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do five too, but I do my workouts are short. Like this morning, for example, I literally maybe like 35 minutes, but I noticed that it works for me, and I can do more. It's just like I mean, I would do more, but it's just like you have to hop off for
Right.
to hop on
Exactly.
the
I do
queue.
the same. Yeah, I do pretty short workouts. I think 20 to 35 minutes or so. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that? I have a question. What is that? And when we talk about work-life balance, right? Apparently, there's a lot of work in our lives. We are entrepreneurs, and if you guys think that being an entrepreneur is like somebody else is doing your work, or like you have the team, that's not true. You have the team, but you still have to do a lot of things. So think twice if you want to become an entrepreneur. Just kidding. But like, is there something, Vlada, that you want to change about your work life? Or life in general or like activities that you do in life now?
Yeah. I think something that's been top of mind for a while, and I've been trying to adopt different habits. And I'm saying trying because I'm not yet happy about how much they stick, but I keep sort of reminding myself. And I think it's really about a strategic planning, right? An idea that at the end of the day, they say we overestimate how much we can get done in a month, but we underestimate how much we can done in a year or five, right? And so I think one of the challenges with any task list or uh, feeding your day was a bunch of things to do is how these things then connect to your bigger goals, right? And so you can get really busy and work really hard and in the end accomplish nothing of what you actually want to
Yeah,
accomplish,
you have to be
right?
strategic, in other words. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think from that perspective, one thing I've done, and I think maybe one of the sessions coming up, we should talk about planning for the year. I think that's a big topic.
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. Let's do it next time. I'm so
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
And so, one of the things I've done last year, which is very helpful, is I set up Friday check ins. They actually happen for me right after our live when I look at the goals I set, and I had some quarterly goals and then some kind of monthly understanding of where I want to be. And so, then I'm not as organized as some people who then break it down into calendar and
I
into the
know.
day, but to me that's enough because that's an important reminder that I try to do weekly and just look at those goals and say, am I making progress towards them, right? Because
Are
the
you
last
doing
thing you
this on
want.
paper or are you doing it on the app or something? Or like a
No,
spreadsheet or
paper.
something?
Yeah, I have something like this. Oops. Oh, can you see
Ah,
it?
okay. So it's a calendar.
It's a calendar.
Like
Yeah.
a spreadsheet, but yeah, yeah.
It's a calendar with some kind of annual goals and kind of when I wanted to do them. And of course, it changes from time to time on like quarterly basis. So I'm not as organized as I would like, but still just having this in front of
Yeah.
me and thinking about it. It's just crazy how much that opens you up to different opportunities. And so, for example, last year, one of the goals I had was attending more high quality conferences to level up my network and just meeting more interesting people who are growing and really innovating. And so all of a sudden in my email, I started getting a lot of these invitations to various.
So are you saying this is like some magical thought attraction or
No, no, I think
my
it's
therapist told me to put these thoughts away. The
yeah,
magic is not happening.
yeah. So I think the magic is in just knowing that it's a
Intention, knowing
priority.
what you want. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the magic is knowing what you want. Because if you know what you want, you're attracting this. This is the magic. No, I'm joking. Of course, my therapist didn't mean that there is no magic in life, but it's just in a conversation every time. I'm like, oh, I thought about this. It happened. It's like I attracted this.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I think talking about sort of any tips or tricks, something that maybe you tried in the last couple of years or months that boosted your
Yeah.
overall work life
You know,
happiness, life happiness.
I think I know what it is, and you were involved too. I think so. First of all, this year, okay, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell them when you were involved. But first, at the beginning of the year, I set a goal. I mean, I also set goals. I don't have the spreadsheet though, but I really wanna take a sneak peek on how you do it. So maybe I can adapt my list. So anyway, I set a goal that I want to do one new activity a week. Oh my god, what a game changer. Because like I didn't have like a specific thing in mind. It has to be like super difficult. It was just like really simple. Like I want to go to a new restaurant, and like we live in Miami, or like you can go to new restaurants pretty much like every day. And it can be like, so it can be anything. So going to a new restaurant, or even like trying a new thing, like trying new foods, or a new dish, or making a new dish, like, or I don't know, or even learning something. Like sometimes your day is really boring, but you read something interesting and you're like, oh my god, this is like, for example, someone is watching this right now and they'd be like, oh, okay, this is something that I didn't know. I want to invite this into my life. So I set that goal, and oh my god, it's like such a, when you're having that like really hard week or hard day, and you remember about this, and you will always find something. Like I didn't want to stress myself to set the goal for, like, to set a daily goal. That's why I set a weekly goal. But you can even do it daily. But the most important thing, like, you have to notice this. So you have to like remember about this and like notice, like, for example, at the end of the day, you can be like, okay, reflecting, what did I do today? Was there anything new? Oh, I want to do something new. And you, like, I don't know, go online and like learn some a piece of new information, or you go to Whole Foods and buy fruit that you never tried before, so like, or make a dish that you've never tried before. or so that was really helpful because it really balanced life with the more life, like it created more life compared to mundane routine work or whatever other things. And every time I shared this piece with, I mean, this goal with someone, they were like, oh my god, this is great, I want to try it too. So it always like get this reaction. I'm like, okay, this is really simple, but this is what everyone can do. So I guess like doing something like this. And when we did our salsa classes, that I always had a great week when we had the salsa class, because like it's like one time a week. But yeah, this is when Vlada was involved, right? It was like once a week. It was only 1 hour, but it's just like a different setting. You meet new people, you learn new neuron connections being created, and you learn like new moves and other things. So I think that was that's something that I will definitely continue doing. And this is something that I encourage you a to try if you haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, and there is a lot of research that suggests that really changing your routine opens kind of new ideas, and that drives a lot of
Oh,
innovation, and it keeps you young
oh
for a
yeah,
very long
I'm
time, right?
I'm all
Changing.
for
um,
definitely.
yeah, I think for me, the big shift was sort of this limiting belief that I had about sort of productivity, and I used to really feel bad about not accomplishing the list of things that I set out to do, and
Oh,
um,
perfectionist mindset in action.
yes, exactly. So I think the big breakthrough, thankfully, was the idea that work can take many forms, and especially in jobs and professions where a lot has to do with your mental clarity, with your mental state, with the quality of your ideas. You can be actually far more effective somewhere on a plane, reading a book, and having a spark of creativity, or
Yeah.
taking a walk. Or I remember some of the best ideas actually for some of our marketing campaigns I had at the beach, actually. Not really thinking about it, but it just comes in those weird moments. And so if I was locked in an office trying to squeeze that juice of creativity from myself.
Wow, that's when I say I don't believe in work-life balance, because you are on the beach and all of a sudden you have this spark and this brilliant idea. But should you be actually torturing yourself and blaming yourself for not being able to take some time off while you're on the beach? I mean, I don't know. Like, I was like thinking about that. Like, oh, does it mean that I'm a workaholic? Like, I think, but then I'm like, no, Anna, this is not it. It just, you have this moment, you should enjoy it. You're being creative right now, right here. On Monday you're not going to be creative, you're just going to have a day off, for example, right? Because sometimes you get caught in this creativity, and you just like, well, like whatever, you come home from the beach and you just like, I want to nail it right, like today, for example, so I totally understand what you mean, absolutely. What helps you, by the way, what helps you to like you said, you understood that the work can take, several forms, but like what helps you to kind of get rid of that perfectionist mindset and not to blame yourself for not checking off the boxes on your list of things to do?
Um, well, I think like many lessons in life we learn through hardship, and I think that the big aha moment is just understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. You can pour from abundance, and so I understood that for me. Having this perfectional mindset actually sort of takes my abundance and makes it very
Okay.
small, very small. And I think that it just I turned it in my head around into opportunity. So it's all in our head and sort of how we think about think about that. So I think just looking at it from a different perspective, and just realizing how important the role is of giving, means that you need a refill, and refill certainly is from taking care of yourself.
I love this. I love this. I feel like we We've had a really, really cool conversation, and it was so smooth and so easy. I definitely think we should turn this video into a podcast on Spotify.
Wind down.
Yeah, wind down, Friday wind down, and yeah, time flies.
Absolutely.
Great
Um,
conversation.
yeah. So next week I'm actually going to be in Madrid, so
Oh my God.
we can talk about travel, or we can talk about
We can talk about whether you work while
whether
traveling.
it work. Now I asked
Are
to
you gonna be working or not?
now I asked for a vacation.
Oh my God, but are you still gonna be working? You're like,
Well, I don't know. Maybe we just skip next week. What do you think? Or we keep it?
no, I mean, like, you can, it's up to you, really, but I'm just curious if, even if you have a vacation or a day off, like, does it stop you from, are you bringing your laptop?
Yes, I think I am always with
And
my laptop,
okay.
but I try
Well,
not to use it. Yeah.
that's a game changer. If you bring your laptop, we can have our live stream. I'm totally down. If you don't bring your laptop, then we're not gonna have our live stream. So, maybe you can try your
Yeah,
trick,
work-life balance and not bring it.
work-life balance, and then you're gonna be like, oh my God, you'll have some insight. So, yeah, definitely, we can. Up to you.
Yeah. Let's do work-life balance, I think, because it's going to be also pretty late that time.
Yeah,
So maybe we talk
I'll just host. I'll just drink wine myself and
about do the wind down.
talk to the wall. Talk to the wall.
All right. Well, folks, if you have any questions about work-life balance, if any of the advice was helpful, or you have your own tips and tricks about winding down and achieving integrated life, and ultimately supporting all objectives and people that are important in your life, then I would love to hear from you. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Yeah.
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 Yes, absolutely. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So great
everyone.
to catch up, Anna.
Thank you. Great to catch up. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.